Hello, I'm back. It's time for a July 2017 update. Now, if I don't say this now, I'm going to forget it. So I'm now posting to Instagram on a reasonably regular basis. So if you think I've disappeared, have a look on Instagram. I go by the name Wobblycogs there as well, and you'll be able to see a few updates of what I'm doing. Basically, if I'm taking photos of it, I will probably eventually make a video of it as well. But I promise, I'm going to try and make more videos. I'm sorry I've been away for so long. Work's been really busy. I have been doing some projects around the workshop and I've been filming quite a lot of them. I just haven't had the time to edit them. For me, editing takes as long as doing the project. I'm trying to get faster, but I just can't keep up with the amount of work that I've got to do. In this update, I'll try and give you a quick sneak preview of some of the things I've shot video for, but I haven't edited yet. If I can find some time to edit, then I think there's some really good content coming up, but I don't know when that will be. I've got a couple of weeks now where work is reasonably quiet, and then there's about a month where I'm really bogged down in work again. But after that, starting autumn, I should be able to get a little bit more time. This is just a problem with being self-employed. So one thing you might notice is that it's a lot brighter in my workshop than normal, and that's because I've finally finished the lights. So I'm really chuffed with how much light I'm getting in the workshop now. The only thing I don't like about them is the distribution boxes that I'm using. I've had to put a fan in them for the transformers, and I'm hoping it's not being picked up by the video. When I'm working in the shop, it's really not a problem, but it means that there is a tiny bit of noise in the shop when the fans are going. Anyway, as I'm sitting at the electronics bench now, let me show you a couple of things that I've done over here. So the first thing I'm going to show you are these component boxes. They are absolutely brilliant. They're made by a British company called Wham. Just search for them online. They do tons of different shapes of boxes. Now, I wouldn't normally show boxes, but I've seen the people that I follow that do electronics on YouTube really struggle to find boxes like this, and these are brilliant and cheap. I think these ones are £2.99 and the clear ones are £2.50. There's like a little hardware outlet store near me, and that's where I'm picking these up. But yeah, £2.99 for one of these. I mean, absolutely brilliant. And yeah, you can see there's, they store a decent amount of stuff, and they've got good sizes as well. So you can stick a load of resistors and small components and stuff all in there. So yeah, definitely buy those. So as you know, I'm learning electronics, and what I'm doing is buying things like this, little electronics projects from AliExpress. And this is a little FM radio, and it's like £1.50 or something delivered. I mean, it's ridiculously cheap. I mean, you couldn't, in the UK, you probably couldn't even post this for £1.50, let alone all the components as well. Unfortunately, I started putting this together. I soldered on the chip, and then I called the kids down, and would you believe, my daughter did probably about half the soldering that. She's only 7. I'm so chuffed. Unfortunately, she's managed to break the wire for it, so I'm going to mount this onto a piece of wood like that once I can find some screws that are small enough, because it turns out these are 2.5mm holes. I always thought they were 3mm holes in boards, but looks like I'm wrong. But yeah, if I mount that to a piece of wood, I think that will be much harder to break, and I'll shorten these leads right down so they don't catch on things. But I also found this on eBay. I think it was quite expensive for me anyway. It was like £4 or something, but it's a little speaker, and it's got little lithium-ion battery in it, and you plug it in, and yeah, it gives out a decent volume, a good sound as well for such a small speaker. But absolutely brilliant for kids. What else have we got? This. I'm also looking to get into metalwork, and I thought I'd buy this from AliExpress. Now, you might say, geez, you bought a micrometer from AliExpress. Yeah, I did. £5.50 I think I paid for this, delivered. And as far as I can tell, it's accurate to 0.01mm, 100th of a mil. So I've got some feeler gauges, and this seems to be spot on for no money at all, really. £5-6, that's all it was, and it's accurate. So yeah, is it going to stay as accurate? Is it Is it the greatest micrometer in the world? No, but it gets you started for almost nothing. I've also got a couple of other little soldering projects here. This is a component tester, if I remember rightly, and I've got here which little LED clock. This one was fairly expensive, like 6-7 quid, something like that. This one was a couple of quid, and again, just, you know, it just teaches you how to solder. And I'll reverse engineer the circuits and stuff, see if I can figure out how they work. Right, so over here you can see the planar thicknesser. Now, you might think, oh, you've shown me the planar thicknesser before. It's busted. Not anymore, it isn't. I've stripped it down and I've replaced all the busted parts. And it works. I've run through hundreds of, well, maybe not hundreds of meters, but many meters of boards through that already. And it's working as good as the day it was made. So I'm really chuffed. I've got a full video, well, I've got full footage of me stripping it down and rebuilding it. So there'll probably be one stripped down video, one rebuild video. So let me just see if I can show you the lights. There you go. So what I've got is 3 of these boxes that provide power. Inside there is a little transformer with a fan just to keep the transformer cool. And then I've got distribution boxes like that. You can see just on the end there I've got a little voltmeter on it as well. So I'm slightly undervolting the LED strips because they provide enough light as they are, and I just want them to last forever. You might also have noticed some brown staining on the ceiling. That's another reason why we haven't had videos recently, because we flooded the house. We live in an old property and there's a stupid design in the loft where the water from the front of the roof has to go out the back of the house, and so there's a gutter in the loft and it blocked. We had a rainstorm and the gutter blocked and the rain came down in the house. So you can see all along here, all along there, yeah, it flooded all of this. Above there is my daughter's room, absolutely, you know, water all in my daughter's room, in my office, in the loft, everything's soaking wet. Yeah, so that's going to be a pain to fix. You can see I've got my lights plugged in, and that's a little web controlled socket, which is quite nice. Unfortunately, I don't get very good Wi-Fi down here, so I can't really show you switching the lights on and off with my phone, but when it does work, it's quite cool. So what else have we got? Over here, we've got the router table build. That hasn't progressed as much as I'd have hoped for. You can see I've put the beach block top on, and what a mistake that was. Stupid me. It was very, very slightly bowed down in the middle. Cupped, I suppose it would be. So I put a little support under the middle and screwed down the front. And I forgot about it, and now it's like this. Yeah. So I don't know, I think I'm going to probably end up having to take that top off. I think I've just wrecked it. I've tried wetting the underside, but it's just not pulling flat again. I mean, you can see here, yeah, so it's not even close to flat anymore, and I've left that for like 2 weeks and it's not coming flat. So wreck that. If you've got any ideas for how to fix that, it would be great. I suppose I could make a router flattening jig, but I'm concerned that if I do that, it's going to move again over time. I think I'm just going to have to get a different top. I was going to build a box joint jig for the drawers, but I've decided life is too short, so I'm going to do that. I will build a box joint jig at some point, but for now I'm just doing it by hand. So there's a couple I've done, and over here is one work in progress. I'm doing it all by hand. So over here we've got Henry the vacuum cleaner, who has caught fire again. Yes, his brain melted. So there's a new motor for him. They're pretty good. 26 quid I think from eBay. Now it's not as good as a real Henry motor, but a real Henry motor is about 150 quid. So, you know, if that only lasts a year, I don't care too much. Henry is so useful as a vacuum cleaner. So a quick little purchase. Amazon were doing this for cheaps. It's a spray garden and air cleaner and stuff. It was only 20 quid, and I intend to get a compressor soon and have a play with that. I don't have one yet, but I thought 20 quid, and I definitely want these two tools. Not so sure about the others. I mean, the tyres on my car never go down, so I don't really care about that. Yeah, but for 20 quid, I thought it was worth a go. And so, last but not least, this is the timber for the workshop windows and the downstairs bathroom. And boy, did I sweat moving all that lot about. So before winter sets in, I've got to get those windows made. I'm going to film the whole process. I want to put together a really good series. I'm hoping you want to see the series. I've really enjoyed making windows. I made the sash windows for our upstairs bathroom, and it's a really involved process, but it's absolutely great fun. I mean, to see something you've made get fitted to your house. Well, actually, I fitted them. One of the builders that was working on the house did help, but yeah, basically, I did the fitting as well. And it's just brilliant. I just love it. I love walking into that room. I mean, there's nothing in there at the minute, but I can just walk into that room, and the sunlight that's coming through, I made that sunlight come into the room. And that is a feeling that will never get old. Yeah, so yeah, I really hope I can put together a cracking series. And you know what? There's nothing on YouTube about making sash windows, not traditional sash windows. I'm following a design from about the 1850s because it's the most appropriate design I could find for this house. This house is from 1820-ish, maybe a little bit earlier. So yeah, so I wanted something that was appropriate for this house. I think that's about it for this update. I hope you're all keeping well and keep on making. Bye till next time.